Welcome to SkillsHub.Life's YouTube channel. Jennifer Hale here to share my knowledge and my experience and my road rash with you to save you time, trouble, money, and pain. Today, I want to talk about some of the business stuff around this career. This is a thing I don't think people talk about a lot, is when you step into a career in voiceover, voice acting, all of that, you are a self-employed entrepreneur. And that is a whole skill set in and of itself. There are essential pieces of running a business that you need to keep the work coming in consistently, to keep your bills paid, and to keep yourself feeling good. All right, so some of those pieces are, I'll describe it like a machine. Like you've got your talent over here. You're working your craft, you're working your skill. I'm trying to get that thing on camera. Yeah. You're working that whole thing, right? And over here, you're building your business structure, and that talent sits inside the business structure. Your business structure is like the wheels that makes the car of your talent go. It's the tires. It's the boring part, but it's really important. And there are a few essential elements to that. There is your sales machine, right? Your sales machine includes agents, your process for finding auditions, and ideally that would be a steady system that you just plug and play. You figure out a way to do it that works for you and just keep showing up and doing that on a regular basis, whether that is daily, weekly, every 3 days, whatever works for you in your whole life. Okay, so finding auditions, the care and feeding of agents, dealing with agents, your relationships with buyers. Buyers can be agents in the big markets or the medium-sized markets, sometimes even in the small markets. Buyers can be clients who you work with directly. And ideally, you want to track all this stuff. And quite often, for me, that meant a notebook where I wrote everything down, because I started in a small market. I started in Birmingham, Alabama. There were no agents. There were ad agencies. Eventually, I added Atlanta, which was a couple hours drive away, 2.5 hours, into my workflow once I had Birmingham up and going like a flywheel. I talk about that in another one of our videos, the flywheel. It's a great concept. So you've got to have a schedule and a system to follow through on all this. For me, writing it down by hand was really helpful. For some of you, it'll be a spreadsheet. For some of you, you'll keep it up here. I'm not that person. And what you want to track is, when was the last time I had contact with them? When would I like to reach out to them again? What happened the last time? And what are little notes about things, genuine, authentic connection points we have? Oh, they have kids. I have kids. Their kids play volleyball. Great. My nephew plays volleyball. Like things like that are in common. And when you call these people to check in, you want to be interested, not interesting. You want to ask them how they're doing when you have time to talk. One of the greatest tools I used when I was working in a small market was the concept of the happy pest. I would call, I would check in, and when they weren't there, because most of the time they're too busy to talk to you, or email. We email nowadays. Just say, I'm just checking in. No need to get back to me. Just popping by. Let me know if you need anything. That's it. If it's a phone call, I would end my message with, I'm touching base, checking in on, following up on whatever I was following up on. I said, give me a call and I'll reach out to you as well. That left the door open for me to call them back, and it's not weird and awkward because I didn't say, call me, and all the pressure and all the weight's on them. Sometimes you can even say, no need to call me back. I'll check in a few weeks. That is so relieving, because then you're putting yourself in front of them without putting pressure on them. So buyers, it's a whole deep conversation around buyers, but buyers are all sorts. Buyers can be directors, can be casting directors, people you've worked with. You want to reach out in a way that doesn't put pressure on them, but brings you happily to mind, right? That's your sales machine, like all those different pieces. And there are more. There are websites and all these places where we pursue work, right? And you can keep a rating system. Like this website's working for me. That one's not so much. I'm not going to put any more into that one. I'll put my efforts and resources into this one. Like tracking this stuff is really helpful. So that's a piece of your business machine, is your sales machine. Then there's your money corner. Like, how's the cash flow going? Word of advice? I know you didn't ask for it, but here it is. Save your money. When you're working, when you're in fashion, save a significant portion of your income so that when you're out of fashion, which typically has nothing to do with you, As long as you've checked your skills with a professional you can trust, which is something that we really value and offer at SkillsHub.Life. It's so easy to get a top pro to go, you know what, that's kind of off. That might be why you haven't been booking. But once you've crossed that box off and you know it's not you, the industry is just like that. So save your money when you're working to cover the times when you're not. All right, those are two pieces of your business machine. One part of your sales machine I didn't mention was your materials, your demo, your website, all of that. You're running a business. Start to look at it that way. Show up with regularity. All right? Good job. We're glad you're here. Hit the comments box below with further questions because I'll do videos on any of these topics that you guys list. I would love to. I'm happy to answer those questions. And I read the comments. So we're really glad you're here. Welcome. Make sure to like and subscribe and all those things and share if you think it's useful. Have a beautiful day.